Happy Friday. I'm Amy. I'm an associate producer here at Discovery News, but by now you also know that I read all of your Facebook and Twitter comments. And then at the end of each week, I sit down here and I recap some of the funniest, some of the most insightful, and of course, some of the angriest of your comments. This week started off really promising. I thought we had finally ended our bad news in the tech world slump. I was wrong. But first, let's recap what else happened in science news this week. Monkeys can control computers with their minds. A baby Joey was rescued after being kicked out of its mother's pouch. Being humiliated has an upside. Scientists are trying to figure out how to have sex in space. And New York City now has its own Scratch and Sniff book tour. See, it started off a really promising week, but then we were dealt the ultimate blow. The death of Steve Jobs. When we posted news of his passing on Facebook, we got a huge response from our readers. Many of you passed along your kind condolences, referring to Jobs as creative, a genius of our time, an innovator and a game changer. And my favorite comment comes from Imran. The world has changed dramatically by 3 apples. The first apple, Adam and Eve. The second apple, Newton's. The third apple, by Steve Jobs. But many of you also disagreed with our assertion of Jobs' scientific genius. Jason said, "Great scientific mind? More like great salesman." Shane said, "Marketing genius Steve Jobs died today. Don't know who this technology/science genius is they keep mourning." So we went to our tech expert, Rob Pegoraro, who's been covering technology since you could still choose between a color or a black and white screen on your Mac PowerBook.
Things are different in large part because Steve Jobs was such a perfectionist, such an obsessive editor of his own products. Apple made some mistakes under his leadership. MobileMe comes to mind. When I look at his legacy, 2 words come to mind. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Rob. Next, we're changing gears. We're on to the story you have to check out this week. It's this one. 20 best micro photographs of 2011. We're always talking about how big and fast the universe is expanding. So much so that we'd sometimes forget how cool the little things are, literally. And now you can see what the world underneath a microscope looks like thanks to this annual photography contest. That's a blade of grass. That's an ant. Pretty cool, right? So that's it for this week. Be sure you like us on Facebook, that you're following us on Twitter, and that you're signed up for our Discovery Daily newsletter, which you can do on our website, discoverynews.com. Keep your comments coming. I read them all, whether or not they come from a Mac or a PC. And check back next week to see if I'm highlighting one of your comments.